New Zealand, where 49 people have been killed in a mass shooting at two mosques in Christchurch. The Prime Minister of New Zealand has condemned the attack and has referred to it as an act of extreme violence. The Prime Minister has urged the citizens to follow the advisory of the police, calling the day as the darkest day in the history of New Zealand. Police confirmed that the incident took place at the Al Noor Mosque. Earlier, one person has died in the hospital. That was the development earlier in the day. According to New Zealand police, at least 4 people, including 3 men and a woman, have been taken into custody. Police have said that one of them had nothing to do with the attack. A male in his late 20s has been charged with murder. He is expected to be charged in court tomorrow morning.
A male in his late 20s has been charged with murder and should appear in the Christchurch court tomorrow morning. 3 other people were apprehended. We believe one of those persons who was armed and was at the scene may have had nothing to do with this incident. And the 2 other people that have been apprehended, again in possession of firearms in the general environment, we are working through to understand what their involvement is. We have recovered a number of firearms from both of the scenes, Linwood Avenue and Deans Avenue.
All right, joining us at this point is one of the eyewitnesses, Carl, joining us from Christchurch in New Zealand. Carl, thanks very much for speaking with us here on Wion. It's an extremely difficult time for the people there, but if you can begin by telling us what you saw in those few minutes when the incident occurred.
Well, I just happened to be driving down the road opposite the mosque at the time when I saw a lot of people running out of the mosque. And they looked terrified, running for their lives. And then a few seconds later, I heard shotgun fire, rapid fire, like semi-automatic weapon fire. And in front of my eyes, as I was driving, I saw these people hit the ground. They were shot from behind. So there's probably about 4, 5, 6 people hit the ground. And at that point, we knew that it was pretty serious. So I'd parked my work vehicle just up the road about 100 metres. And me and my co-worker, we decided to stop and help. And along with maybe 4 or 5 other civilians, we formed a cordon, made sure no one else could come in, and tried to assist with the people who were injured, had been shot. The time it took for the police ambulance to arrive would be a minimum of 15 minutes. We were the only people there to help them. At that time, people were dying. My worker was assisting one gentleman who had been shot in the back, and he passed away in his arms after about 15 minutes. We managed to get one young girl and his father away in a car before they were arrived, so we were hoping to keep survive. So it was a long time. It seemed like a long time. There wasn't that many people stopping. And one first aider was there, but after that, we were just securing the area until the police and ambulance and defenders arrived. And we didn't realise the extent of what had happened until the media and then later, and then we realised, there was a dangerous situation there. Possibly shouldn't have been there, but we decided to stay and help as we did, as much as we could.
Right, so the gunman, you saw the gunman entering the area there and the subsequent chaos that unfolded in the next few minutes. But if you can elaborate for us also, Carl, the reaction in those few minutes of the people around you.
Yeah, so the gunman was sighted after he had just discharged a second round of about 10, 11 shots. And so my co-worker had seen him at a reasonably close distance, but thankfully he didn't come towards us. He went the other way. And then there was another round of about 4 or 5 shots fired after that. We managed to talk to some people who were in the mosque and had managed to escape uninjured, and they told me that the gunman had come into that Ramadan and started shooting anyone in the mosque. And there was several hundred people there, so at that point in time I heard that the devastation.
Right. Carl, also we understand those few minutes, of course, have been extremely chaotic for you, and if you can tell us a little bit more about the people who were with you. The police, of course, has been telling us that the immediate priority has been to make sure that those people were rushed to the nearby hospital, but also if you've been able to get in any reaction from those who you usually go to that area with.
Well, honestly, there were very few people in the cauldron at the time. There were some bystanders, people coming out from houses. We told them just to keep back. There were no emergency personnel there for a long time. So our reaction was, what's taking so long? Why are you taking so long? But the protocol is that the armed offenders need to be there first to assist the police. The police can't go in until the armed offenders are there. The ambulance can't go in until the area is secure. So that takes a long time. So the loss of life was significant, possibly in that first 30 minutes, because that's the critical time of injury. So all you do is just try and help the best you can while help is on the way. People were obviously upset and worried, family, friends.
Right. Carl Poman there elaborating for us the minute-by-minute sequence of events as they unfolded. An extremely tragic incident coming there from New Zealand. Now, as Carl is telling us, we'll just try and go back to him in just a few moments from now. Several eyewitnesses have described the horrific shootout at that mosque. A witness told media that he saw a man dressed in a military-style camouflage outfit and carrying an automatic rifle enter the Masjid Al-Nur Mosque. The witness heard dozens of shots. Another witness who was inside the mosque during that shooting said that he saw many people bleeding. According to another witness, people inside the mosque ran for their lives and saw people bleeding on the ground outside the Al-Nur Mosque. Many of those injured have been taken to the hospital. And eyewitness just outside the mosque also recounted how everyone ran to hide behind cars when they heard the firing.
When firing stopped, I just have a look from over fence. There was one guy changing his, the gun and taking the other one because he parked on this side driveway next to the mosque house, and he just take the gun and then firing start again. Saw the speed start after 3-4 minutes. We heard the firing, and it was from the main entrance of the building. And then everybody just run toward the back doors just to save themselves. And first we hide behind the cars and, under the cars. And then when we see that firing still on, we try to, jump the fence. Firing was on and on, And one person we saw with us was a bullet in a hand.
I was inside the mosque. I was in the side room. And the Imam had started the sermon, so everybody was settled, and it was very peaceful, calm and quiet, as usually it is. When Imam starts talking, everyone is quiet and it is a pin drop silence. But then suddenly, the shooting started. So it started in the main room because the shooter must have come through the hallway, and I was in the side room, so I did not see who was shooting, but I saw that some people were running out through my room where I was in, and also I saw some people had blood on their body, and some people were limping. At that moment, I realized that it was really serious, and a couple of people, they said to me that you are on wheelchair, you got to get out now. So I tried to get out, and I pushed myself at the back where my car was parked, and I was behind the car, and then from there I was hearing that shooting after shooting after shooting. It went on about 6 minutes or more, and I could hear screaming and crying, and I saw some people were drop dead.
Carl Poman, an eyewitness, has been recounting for us also the minute-by-minute sequence of events and what he saw. Carl, I would not want to go into more detail into what you just mentioned, because it's of course been an extremely tragic time for you to witness that unfortunate incident. But as of now, we are understanding that in terms of security precautions, the police has shut down the nearby schools, mosques in the area as well. If you can tell us a little bit more about what's happening on ground as we speak.
Okay, so for the first 4 hours after the initial attack at the first mosque, all schools were in shutdown, the hospital was in shutdown, and all shopping malls were in shutdown. So essentially, the whole city was under surveillance. The CBD was essentially very, very quiet. People were told to get off the streets, stay in their offices, stay home, don't get in the car, don't travel. So that was, from 2 p.m. through to at least 5:30 p.m., 5 o'clock. That has lifted, so people can now drive freely around the city. Schools release children around 5 p.m., 5:30. The airport has been closed to internal flights this evening, and I understand that flights will resume again tomorrow morning.
Right. Carl, also, as you're telling us of the sequence of events and how they unfolded, we're also learning that how long, if you can tell us, also the emergency personnel took to arrive at the spot. Were you around when the police teams rushed to the spot?
So the first responders were the armed defenders. That took probably 15 to 20 minutes. And then after that was the police, and then another maybe 10 minutes after that was the ambulance. So it was at least 15 to 20 minutes before the first responders came.